this for my notes. We good. We're about to get started right now. More backstage stuff. I believe Jake Roberts is doing something. All right, here we go. I don't need detail. Let's bring this up some. Yo. Let's go. Great Debate Show with your host, myself, Jarvis Jeffries, along with Terrence Smith and Nick Ely. We are in the building, back and better than ever, baby. Facebook Live right now on a Wednesday night. YouTube Live also. How you guys feeling, man?
Hey, feeling good, man. It's good to actually be physically in the studio.
It's been a while.
It's been a while, but it's always good to be here.
No doubt. Nick, how you feeling, man?
I'm all good, bro. I'm gonna make it out there soon. I feel like that was a jaded little jam.
No, I wouldn't do that.
Right. So I'll make it down there with soon.
We're going to talk about the Philadelphia Eagles, Nick, your team, who has a few additions, but maybe a little bit more subtractions. We're going to talk about how you feel about them losing another good player off your defense, and that is Gardner Johnson, who is now a Detroit Lion. I know you probably have some things to say about the contract, the money, what he missed out on, and whatnot, how his agent might have screwed that up. You also have you kept Fletcher Cox, though. You have to pay Jalen Hurts, so you're going to lose some players. This is how it goes. But I want to ask you later on in the show, are the Eagles better or worse than they were in the NFC Championship game and the Super Bowl? The NFC is kind of been up and down, and the talent is going all around the league, all over the league. So we're going to talk about that and see who's gotten better. According to Vegas, the top 4 teams in the NFL for the 2023 season is 1, Kansas City Chiefs, of course. 2, the San Francisco 49ers, a team that didn't go to the Super Bowl. 3, it's the Cincinnati Bengals. And 4 is the Dallas Cowboys. If the Niners and Cowboys and Bengals and Chiefs are the last 4 teams on championship weekend, we will have to come back to that.
Right.
That ESPN put out up there. Okay, so it's the Great Debate Show, and we're about to get started. March Madness, there's been a lot of upsets. We've got more games coming up on Thursday. And Memphis Tigers, they lost their first game. Not their first game, their second game.
That was their first game.
It was their first game. It was to Florida Atlantic. There's a lot of number 1 seeds, though, that's gone home.
Yeah.
So, it's been crazy. And all of the teams, the top teams like the Kansas and the Dukes and the Kentuckys, they're gone. They're already out of it. So who's going to win the March Madness? Who's going to be the national champions? We'll talk about it. Who's the top 5 college basketball players of all time? We had that going on earlier today on the Great Debate Show page, and it was pretty interesting.
Who was your 5?
You know what? I can't argue with some of the top 5s that Grip and Dwayne put on there, to be honest with you. I can't argue with Jay Will. I can't argue with Christian Laettner.
Yeah.
I can't argue with Chris Webber.
Yeah.
And that's 4 right there. But as far as all time, I don't know where I want to put them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I would put Laettner. Maybe I need to go back. Was Laettner that good in college basketball? He was.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe he is. He definitely is top 5.
Laettner was good enough to make the dream team out of college. So
okay, and that was a debate between, is he the best Duke player ever, and somebody debated that it's probably Grant Hill. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I would say maybe, I don't know, man. College basketball, definitely Jay Will, definitely Laettner, definitely C. Webb. Rasheed Wallace was one of my favorites in college, along with Jamal Mashburn. But as far as top 5, man, it's hard.
Well, I think everybody's list has got to start with Lou Alcindor, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Like I don't see how anybody's list doesn't start with that guy.
Yeah, he definitely.
That is first and foremost.
Yeah.
Man, Magic had a good career over there at State, and
Isaiah won a championship in Indiana as well.
And Bird had a good career, and Then of course Jordan and Worthy and those guys came on after that, and it's hard to put a list together, man. But I just know everybody's list better start with Lou Alcindor, and if it doesn't, we got a problem.
Yeah, I would agree. With that. Okay, so and also an interesting take that we went on the Great Debate Show on the Twitter page, and it was Nick Ely, host of the Great Debate Show, that tweeted, "Who is Dwayne Wade a top 20 player of all time in the NBA?" Now, I think that we can all agree that he's probably a top 10 guard, a top 10 shooting guard of all time. But a top 20 player of all time. That is a debate, maybe.
Right.
Maybe we'll get to it. Some people may think he is a top 20. Some people may think he's number 21. But we'll get into it. So what we want to start with on this show, guys, there's a lot of football talk. Ja Morant is on his way back, coming out the bench tonight in Houston for the Grizzlies. Is the Western Conference better without Ja or with Ja? I think it's better with him because they were pretty lenient with his suspension or whatever, so to speak. And he's back, and so it's good for the league. He's the face of the league. However, are the Grizzlies a better team without Ja? They were starting to go on a roll. They do this every time he's out. Now, what's going to happen now that he's coming back? He's coming off the bench the first night. Maybe there's still a little bit of the punishment they want to give him. Who knows? But they definitely want to let the league know, the fans know, and the children, the youth. They do need to know that this can't happen. And these things, they have to see something to realize that, okay, they made an example out of him. I'm not going to do that.
Right.
And I thought they were very lenient. Again, liking the Grizzlies, cheering for the Grizzlies, being a Ja fan, I'm cool with it. But we'll see how this goes. He said he never had a drinking problem. It's stress, and he's just dealing with his stress the wrong way. And now he's going to try to do that better. Terrence sent us an emoji that was very, very funny, and it was pretty much basically the way it went. It was one of the guys going into one of the revolving doors. He went in and he went right back out. That's what Terrence is saying.
From The Simpsons.
Yeah, from The Simpsons. That's right. That's what it was.
Yeah.
That's what Terrence is saying, exactly what Ja Morant did, and that whatever that was, he went to counseling. Yeah, so to speak, counseling. He was in and he was out.
That man ain't been to no counseling.
I thought he may be done for the season. And just like that, he's back.
Listen, first of all, let me just say this, because I don't need nobody in Memphis trying to come for me, as the kids say. But that was the biggest load of public relations I've ever seen.
Yeah.
He's in counseling. And then by that Friday, he's doing an interview with, it just so happened, coincidentally, on the same day that his suspension is announced, he's doing an interview with Jalen Rose. And, of course, saying all the right things.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it. NBA, Grizzlies, just stop it. Just say y'all didn't want the man to be out very long and let him play. You didn't have to come up with this bogus suspension, bogus counseling, this bogus interview. All of that was bogus.
Yeah.
It was all bogus. And I'm not saying I wanted the man to be suspended. That's at some point we have to ask the question, what does Ja want, right? But that's for Ja Morant to ask Ja Morant. But yeah, don't slap me in my face like this. Don't, as some of the people say, don't piss on me and tell me it's raining.
Right.
Yeah, because it's pretty much what they did at that point.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's go ahead and get Nick in this show, and let's get a quick rundown on what's happening in the NFL. Again, let's get you guys' takes on Elijah Moore being traded to the Cleveland Browns, and Hartman from the Chiefs, McCall Hartman going to the Jets. The Jets are still trying to make moves for Aaron Rodgers, and they pretty much are putting everything, all the puzzles to the piece together, all the pieces to the puzzle. They're putting it together, but there's one thing missing, and that's the quarterback. Mm-hmm. And they still don't know for certain if they're going to have him. So, guys, Hartman to the Jets, is that a good thing? Is that good for the Jets? And Elijah Moore for the Browns, how much better are the Browns now? Elijah Moore outside, Amari Cooper outside. We get Deshaun Watson for a full season, we think. And, are the Browns versus the Jets, are they better now after these moves?
Yeah, I think both teams are, pretty much better. They're both going for it. And I think if there's anything I've been consistent about on this show is that I appreciate teams that are addressing weaknesses and are going for it. So yeah, no, I definitely think they're both better for sure, without a doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, easily.
Mm-hmm.
The Browns are always just a couple pieces away, and I think the Jets were more than just a couple pieces away. I think they already had the piece they need, but the fact that they're still going for it, I think this speaks volumes.
Because they also added Alan Lazard also.
They did.
Yeah,
they did.
Yeah. Nick, what's your take on this?
The funny thing about the Jets is that they definitely are going to get Aaron Rodgers, and the Packers are kind of screwing themselves in this situation because they don't have any leverage.
You said they definitely are going to get him?
Yeah, the Jets are definitely going to get Aaron Rodgers. The Packers don't have any leverage at this point, right? They want to get rid of him. They're ready to move on with Jordan Love and give Jordan Love the chance to run the team. And so he said the only team he wants to play for is the Jets. So if the option is either, okay, y'all got to trade us what we want, or he can just retire, or he can just say, well, my contract's guaranteed. I can just be a menace here to you for $60 million, or we can wait this thing out, and then the Jets will get me for a third-round pick and the backup right tackle.
Not the backup right tackle.
Like, that's what's going to end up happening if the Packers continue to draw this out. So if I'm the Jets, my best offer has already been on the table, and the longer you wait, the smaller it gets.
So you don't think the Packers have any leverage in this at all?
Your other option is Aaron Rodgers says, okay, I'll stay in Green Bay and be a $60 million menace.
And they don't want that. It's been clear that they have kind of stated that they're ready to move on with Jordan Love.
Mm-hmm.
And so what's the holdup then?
You gonna tell me you're gonna try out Jordan Love and Aaron Rodgers is on your roster? You gonna send Aaron Rodgers home for $60 million?
Of course not. So why are they asking for more compensation than I guess the Jets are willing to give up? That seems to be the holdup.
Because he is Aaron Rodgers. Because they want to feel like they get fair value, but they're not going to.
Why did they do this $60 million contract in the first place?
If they knew they wanted him to leave anyway. Right.
They knew they were sick of him anyway. Why give him this extension?
Aaron Rodgers was playing chess and they was playing checkers.
Evidently so.
And they lost.
And they're gonna lose.
And they lost.
Checkmate.
I'm not gonna debate that.
To quote the great Michael B. Jordan, checkmate.
If it makes sense, I won't debate it.
Question. But Elijah Moore, McCole Hardman. McCole's better. He's got more experience, but to an extent, it feels like a bit of a lateral move on both sides. I don't know what the money looks like, so maybe that played a part in it. But just from a football perspective, I guess you give McCole. Like I said, he's played in some bigger situations. He's a little more proven, but Elijah, definitely looked nice. Might be a little bit biased there. Shout out to another Rebel. But yeah, man, so we'll see what happens. Another weapon for Aaron Rodgers to have, and for Deshaun Watson to have, for that matter. So,
I think
on both parts, I guess.
I think the Jets got a few draft picks too for Elijah Moore. I don't remember the exact rounds.
I think they got a couple.
I don't know what the deals look like either. So.
I think it was like a 4th and a 7th round pick, something like that.
Okay, 4th and a 7th. Okay.
Are there 7 rounds in the draft?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it was a 4th and a 7th. How many rounds are there?
I don't know. I think it was better than that.
Maybe.
I'm not sure. My apologies for not having that up, but they did get a few draft picks, and Elijah Moore is a Brown now. And the Jets get Hardman. I thought they were both kind of just speedsters, but Elijah Moore is still young.
Yep.
Hardman's still young. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But those were the wide receiver moves.
Really, if you think about it, if you get a 4 and a 7, one of those guys can turn into Elijah Moore. Like an Elijah Moore equivalent player, right?
Yeah, very, very, very easily.
True. That's true. So the Jets did okay then, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, now.
And they also got the better receiver of the two. So, yeah, they did great.
Okay.
I don't know what they could sign McCole Hardman. They didn't trade for him, right?
He was a free agent. Yeah, they signed him. Yeah, they signed him.
Agent,
yeah, they signed him. That's correct.
That's fantastic. That's great front office work.
The Jets are doing good then. Okay, so what we also want to discuss briefly here is another move where Stephon Gilmore was traded to the Dallas Cowboys.
Correct.
How much better are the Dallas Cowboys? Nick, start with you and then Terrence. Now that he's in that secondary with Diggs and company.
Why would you start this question with me? Because the Cowboys, you did. That's why you did that.
Of course.
That's cool. I'll take that. I mean, it's impressive on paper, right? That's hard to argue with.
Right.
You got Trayvon Diggs. He's young. He's shown to be one of the best corners in the league. He's opportunistic for sure. And then you got Stephon Gilmore, who's a proven veteran. Former defensive player of the year, best corner in the league conversation type guy. So, obviously, I don't think he's quite that anymore. But certainly still one of the upper echelon. And so it definitely is an improvement for the Cowboys. I called it. Sorry, I just got an ESPN alert. John Morant just posterized somebody. I said he was going to do it.
That was fast.
Yeah. Yeah, so I might check on that a little later.
Gotcha.
But in the meantime, I lost my train of thought.
Cowboys,
yeah.
Gilmore's about 31, 32, I believe.
Yes. I mean, he still got it. Like I said, I'm not saying the guy fell off a cliff by any stretch of the imagination. I'm not going back to skeleton here.
Okay.
But what I will see, obviously, he's taking maybe a half a step back. And so even that still lands him as probably easily a top 10 corner in the league, right?
Right.
I think that's probably true for both him and Trayvon. And then when you got a guy like Michael Parsons coming off the edge, that's a difficult defense to deal with.
Yeah.
There's one team in that division that is uniquely structured to deal with it just fine, but we'll deal with that a little later. But good move for them.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think it's a good move, and I think the person that benefits the most is more than likely Michael Parsons. Michael Parsons now, those receivers, they'll be running routes a little bit longer. The quarterback is more than likely going to have to hold the ball a little bit longer, and that's going to definitely benefit Michael Parsons.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely think it's a good move. It makes them more than likely they'll be a top 5 defense next year. I just think they've got some things on offense to figure out. So I don't know if it makes them better because right now their running backs room is looking real poor. The offense as a whole is looking real poor. They don't have a tight end. They don't have a running back right now because Pollard is still out with a broken leg, and of course they cut Zeke. Mm-hmm. So I don't think they're better because they've taken steps back on offense now. But I do think those are steps that they can quickly recover. You can go out and sign OBJ. You can go out and make a trade for. Well, they might not be able to make a trade now, but you can go young at tight end. Tight ends, they are coming in the league left and right now, especially running backs, right? We know how teams feel about running backs. You can always find a young one. You can go pull a running back off the street, according to some of these GMs.
Yeah.
So, I think fans should still be optimistic. The last thing you got to tell the Cowboys fans to be optimistic. So I ain't got to tell them that, but just for people that are watching this with, regular people, you can be optimistic because those are holes on offense that they can make up pretty quickly.
Right. Okay, so hey, there it is. Stephon Gilmore is a Dallas Cowboy, and they tagged Tony Pollard. They've lost tight end Dalton Schultz to the Houston Texans.
Yep.
And Houston Texans also added Jimmy Ward last week when free agency first kicked off.
The Texans ain't playing.
They're not really playing. They're making some small moves.
They're tired of being the worst team in Texas.
They traded Brandon Cooks.
That is.
They traded Brandon
to
Cooks
the Cowboys.
To the Dallas Cowboys.
Yep.
So the D-Hop stuff can go away now. Hopkins to Dallas. But they've got Cooks on the offensive end, on the offensive side. I'm hearing Mike McCarthy has took over play calling.
Yep.
He's going to run the ball a lot more, which is something that Terrence has been asking for quite some time now on how the Cowboys could be more efficient, more productive on offense, and win the game instead of him losing the game for them at times.
Right.
So the Dallas Cowboys, hey, call it what you want, say what you want. In my book, they're a better football team right now than they were the last game they played. I can't really think of any significant losses they've had Ezekiel Elliott is not that significant.
Well, and it's like Nick was pointing out before we started rolling. Zeke did a lot for them in pass protection, and those tough yards Zeke got them most of the time. So that's something that I have to replace. But
that can be replaced as short yardage.
Well, there is a guy there in Tennessee named Derrick Henry, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's in a Cowboys jersey come start of the season.
They've given up some draft picks already here, so
they have
for Cooks.
I would be a little surprised to see him in a Cowboys jersey.
I wouldn't be surprised. I could see it.
Well, it's crazy you say that though, because Terrence, I said, well, I might have didn't say it on the show, but I told a Titan fan it would be nice if they added a Tony Pollard to the Titans offense.
Yeah.
Now you would have Derrick Henry and Pollard in the same backfield, a little thunder and lightning combo punch, and then you just said it, but on a different team in Dallas. That would be crazy. And I would say that.
I don't think there's a way Dallas. I don't think Dallas can afford it.
I don't even know if there's a way they could trade for him. I don't know what they gave up for Cooks and what they gave up for Gilmore, but that's two different. That's two trades in 1 week.
Guys, it's Jerry Jones, man. Jerry Jones he'll sell his soul for a player that he likes.
Wouldn't doubt that either. Yeah, that's true.
He just got his soul back.
Right. So we're running through the football news as far as free agency goes. Let's wrap up with Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson still has not received an offer sheet from any team. We talked about all the teams that bailed out as soon as he got tagged, or we might have did not. We probably didn't because free agency started after we did our last episode. But just to fill everybody in, for those who don't know, the Atlanta Falcons, the Washington Commanders,
all the teams that should be looking for quarterbacks,
Miami Dolphins, a lot of teams that should be looking for quarterbacks said we'll pass as soon as he got the non-exclusive tag. Terrence, let's start with you. It's your team. This is your quarterback. I know you hope he continues to be your quarterback.
Absolutely.
But there's rumors that the Tennessee Titans are about to make a move on Lamar Jackson, or the wild card, the Minnesota Vikings. Kirk Cousins is just 1 year, only 1 year remaining on his deal. Terrence, I'll ask you, why has no one – I know you're glad that no one has made that offer. But the biggest question, I guess, would be, could these two teams make an offer? And if so, are your Ravens going to match? Does it depend on the number?
Yeah.
Does it depend on the number, or are they going to match regardless?
I think they'll match whatever's offered.
Then it would kind of make sense that teams don't want to do the work for
it. Yeah. So I think they're going to have to have a real heart-to-heart. Somebody's got to give up something on both sides, and it's just their offer.
Right.
Which is, and I think Nick, I think you retweeted something one day that said that anybody that's had the exclusive franchise tag, only one player has been signed away from it in a certain amount of time. I forgot exactly what that was, but
it was like ever. It was like only one player has ever actually been signed away, like ever.
Yeah.
And it's been some years. It's been 20, 30 years.
Right.
I had to go find who it was and when it was, but it's been a while.
Yeah. So apparently this is common practice. It did look bad because of Lamar, and we're looking for Lamar to generate some in the offers, and when everybody kind of pulled the offers or even the idea that they would offer something back, we all raised our eyebrows, and I'm sure there was some collusion. I'm absolutely sure it's like, hey guys, we're gonna franchise tag this guy. You don't if you offer him a fully guaranteed deal, you're gonna screw the league up.
Like they told Cleveland's owner.
Well, I don't even think anybody thought Cleveland would be crazy enough to do that. Cleveland got desperate and they overbid it.
Very desperate.
Yeah, I don't think anybody thought Cleveland would actually do that. I know that surprised all of us. But yeah, they can't afford for another quarterback to do that. Let's just call it a spade a spade. They can't afford another black quarterback to do that.
Not the blackest of the black.
Not the blackest of the black. So I know when it comes down to Lamar, I'm very confident that he'll still be in Baltimore come training camp.
Right. We want to thank everybody that's watching and tuning in right now on the Great Debate Show, live on Facebook, live on YouTube. Jarvis Jeffries, Terrence Smith, Nick Ely. We're back in the building, baby, better than ever. And we're talking about NFL free agent frenzy, the trades that have happened, and acquisitions and whatnot. And but let's shift this to March Madness real quick. There's been a lot of upsets, and there's some teams left, 16 to be exact. If there's one team that you all see will win this whole thing right now, who would it be? and because a lot of good teams are out.
Yep.
No Kentucky's, no Kansas, no Dukes. They're all out. They're gone. So who wins this thing now with the 16 left? There was a lot of number ones that went down. A few, I mean.
Alabama's still there, though, right?
Alabama's still there. Houston's still there.
I'm going to roll with Alabama.
But Princeton's still alive. Who would have thought? And you're going to roll with Alabama?
Yep.
Okay. What about you, Nick? We just want to just quickly just say who we think will win the whole NCAA tournament. Oh, sounds. It may be on this end.
Stand by, Nick.
1 second, Nick. We're going to get with Nick in a brief moment here to see what's going on with his sound. That's not on that end. But, yeah, March Madness. Memphis Tigers are out. A lot of teams are out. Here you go. Okay, Nick. So, yeah, I'm asking you if there's one team that you – oh, that was on you?
Yeah, that was on me, yeah.
Okay.
So, I'm going to root for Houston.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to pick Alabama.
Root for Houston and pick Alabama?
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you guys think about if Alabama wins? Like, how unbearable will their fans be if they're out here winning national championships in 2 sports, which they didn't win a national championship this year in football, but I mean they've got enough to where they don't have to win anymore.
This is true. This is true.
I was just thinking about how awkward it's going to be considering the stuff that the kid Brandon Miller was involved with.
Who was that now?
Brandon Miller. He's their best player. Might be the best player in college basketball.
Okay.
But he was tied to the murder that happened with the other player recently, earlier in the season. Apparently, Brandon Miller allegedly gave that person a gun. But
now let's push this forward and ask this question.
All right, let's
In the
hear it.
wake of the John Morant incident, what does this do to Brandon Miller's draft stock when that time comes around?
That's a good question. I think the way he's playing in the tournament, I don't think it'll hurt it because people make differences for you when you're young and you're amazing. So
this is true.
They make differences for you, man.
Is he coming out this year?
I'm sure he will. His stock won't get any higher.
That's right.
Yeah. Maybe we're seeing some of these guys stay a little bit longer because they have these NIL deals. Maybe he's like, hey, I'm already getting some money. Let me go and try to get this bad name off me. But I don't think his stock will get any higher than what it is right now.
Right.
There was
it was good.
Yeah, there was a sequence in a game last week, I think, or maybe the week before that. It may have been it was in their game. It was in their first game, I think. He blocked a guy and like sprinted back and spotted up for 3 and nailed a 3, man. It was just a very, very beautiful sequence.
Mm-hmm.
So the guy can ball, man, and I'm rolling with Alabama solely because of him.
Can they beat Gonzaga?
They can beat anybody.
Yeah,
Okay.
they can beat anyone in the country.
Okay. I heard they was a little banged up, so I didn't know was that going to be an issue for this tournament or not. I mean, they took care of business.
Brandon Miller's a little hurt.
Okay, it's him. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And I know they're out of the tournament, but we do want to give a quick shout out to Memphis. But Memphis, they didn't beat Alabama, but they lost by like 1 point or something like that.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
That season could have been very different for Memphis. But still overall a good season. I think they had like 25 wins. Good season, and they'll be better next year. I'm sure.
It was a bad matchup. They Florida Atlantic matched up real good, really good with Memphis from what I saw. And
Florida Atlantic always has athletes.
Yeah.
The state of Florida is like the most athletic state.
One thing I would say before we move on and switch gears, Memphis, Kentucky right now, Calipari's doing this too. I would say that they're recruiting. And I know we've talked about Penny's recruiting and whatnot. Absolutely. But I would say that both of those organizations, both of those programs, from what I see, are recruiting the same type of talent. They're quick, they're agile, they've got some speed, they can run the floor, but there's no skill set. Like, they're just freakish players that can run and they can jump out the gym, and that's pretty much it.
Right.
I'm not seeing enough shooters. I'm not seeing enough. And Memphis backcourt wasn't bad.
I don't think that's
more shooters and more.
I really believe that a lot of that is what's been going on for years. A lot of our athletes now, they're focused on highlights, right? They're focused on dunking and being able to hit a nice crossover. But you see a lot of the European players, they come over here and they've got a lot of fundamentals.
Yeah.
And that's been an issue for a long time now. I do think that's probably been a little bit overstated for a while. Listen, that cost the Detroit Pistons some championships because they decided to go with Darko Milicic over Carmelo. So I don't want to make it sound like every European player is. I hate to even remind myself.
Yeah.
Let me just say this. Let me just say this. Yeah, right. Well, let me just say this, and this can go on any reel you guys have. We I'm glad we're live. Somebody will see it. My last casino trip, which I don't make them very frequently anymore, just for the people out there. Right. As Jordan said, I don't have a gambling problem. It's a hobby. But there was a young lady at the blackjack table, and if you guys go to the casino to play blackjack, you know about the progressive, right? Yeah. You play your little $5, and if you get matching blackjack or whatever, well, she got the matching blackjack. So it would have been $200 and something thousand, but she didn't play her $5. That's still not as bad as Joe Dumars not picking Carmelo Anthony and picking Darko Milicic.
That really sounds bad hearing that again today, man. That sounds terrible. Yeah.
That's still not as bad as him not picking Carmelo Anthony and picking Darko Milicic. I just had to say that.
Imagine what that would have been like, Carmelo Anthony as a Detroit Piston.
Oh, my goodness.
For a majority of his career.
He could have won easily 2 or 3 championships, bro.
To start his career.
Right.
Yeah, Joe Dumars screwed up history.
Man. Yeah, that one hurts there.
So, yeah. But I'm saying it to say a lot of the young athletes here, I don't think they focus on the fundamentals enough. I always think shooting the basketball should be the first thing you learn how to do.
Yeah.
That's what I always thought. Now maybe that's why maybe you shouldn't take that. He would have torn everybody up. Yeah, he would have torn everybody up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the crazy part is all they needed was a little bit of scoring. They had the defense. They just a little bit.
He was a little bit.
They had the defense. I mean, those finals were boring.
Yeah.
Because it was so much defense from both sides.
Yeah.
But the Spurs didn't have anybody that could have stopped a young Melo. Bruce Bowen would have taken a beating in the paint. He couldn't have fouled his way out of it like he fouled Kobe.
And he was still in the paint at that time.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that dude was unreal. So, yeah, but a lot of those young guys, to me, they just don't focus on shooting and the fundamentals enough. And then they get in big spots and they can't make free throws or, they don't shoot well. And, the athleticism is going to leave at some point, but can you make me a jump shot?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Before we get to our great debate of the show, let's quickly just talk about this other list that you sent us, Nick. And the projected 2023 starting quarterbacks in the NFL right now. Cam Newton says that there's not 32 quarterbacks better than him. And he means the 32 quarterbacks that are starting right now.
Right.
People like Andy Dalton, who keeps getting jobs.
Oh, my goodness.
People like, who was Sam Darnold got signed. Even though he's not a starter, we don't think he will be.
Right.
Some of these quarterbacks that keep getting jobs. Baker Mayfield got signed by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, Cam has an argument on that one.
Right.
So I want to ask you guys, and we'll start with Nick since you're the one that tweeted this and got everything, started on Twitter. The Great Debate Show / King Sip Productions on Twitter. Check it out. And, we're debating all week on there. Out of the quarterbacks that are playing right now, how many would you take out and insert Cam Newton? Since he says he's still definitely better than, there's not 32 quarterbacks better than him.
Without having the graphic in front of me, Cam Newton, there's not 32 quarterbacks better than him in the NFL.
They're not? Okay. Let me quickly just give you the quarterbacks. I mean, most of them, but Josh Allen, Tua, Mac.
Starting in like the bottom 20 to 32. Because he might be like 26.
Okay, let's start from the bottom. Baker Mayfield, Tampa Bay.
Cam is better.
Yeah, Cam's still better than Baker.
Right now, he's still better than Baker.
But the problem is it's too close. The problem is it's too close. Cam's older and he's a bigger headache.
I don't know about headache. I don't know about headache anymore. I'm not sure about headache anymore, but
because Cam Newton, he's gonna want to come in and start. So if you go tell me you have a quarterback competition with him and Baker Mayfield, if for whatever reason Baker Mayfield wins that, they feel like Cam Newton will be a bigger headache than what Baker would be as the guy on the bench.
Okay, what about Kirk Cousins?
I roll with Cousins. Yeah, I roll with Cousins.
Okay, me too. Derek Carr.
He better than Carr.
Barely.
No, he better than Carr.
We know how Nick feels about Derek Carr.
Right.
Jordan Love. Could Cam Newton be starting for the Green Bay Packers in 2023? Is he better than Jordan Love? You hadn't seen much of Jordan Love.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with that. He had a couple of nice throws against us, and so that that made me kind of go, I don't remember seeing that from Jordan Love. But it's because I don't remember seeing basically anything from Jordan Love.
Give me at least September. Give me at least the month of September to see Jordan Love. But as of now, I gotta say it's Cam. Let me see what he's working. Let me see the first quarter of Jordan Love, and then maybe I'll change my mind. What about Andy Dalton in Carolina? This is a quarterback that just got signed yet again.
I'm rolling with Cam on that one.
Once again, the problem is that it's too close. And the fear that Cam has the Carmelo Anthony problem almost. Because this was the best thing I heard when Carmelo Anthony was out of the league, and I guess he's out of the league again now, for a year or two, and nobody could really explain why. Stephen A. actually came on and said something that made a lot of sense to me. Oh, shit. Having technical issues. He came on and he said, the problem isn't that Carmelo Anthony can't make a 15-man roster. He can. But he might be like 10, 11, 12 down on the bench. And you can't have Carmelo Anthony sit there as a 10, 11, 12 down on the bench. Because that becomes an albatross in your organization. And so Cam is kind of in a similar situation. And he's an even bigger personality than Carmelo Anthony really is.
But Melo came off the bench though, I think, in LA and
that's my point. He's even a bigger personality than Melo is.
Well, okay. But here's my argument to that. To every NFL team out there, if the 49ers had Cam Newton, they may have gone to the Super Bowl. And what I'm saying is, if they had any formidable quarterback that could just finish the game, they would have at least had a chance. I'm not saying they would have beaten the Eagles, but they would have at least had a chance to win. But when the quarterback got hurt and they got down to the fourth-string quarterback, they had no chance of winning.
That's true, but this is why I would disagree. At one point, that would have been great to have Cam as our quarterback in San Francisco.
Cam was still playing y'all's offense.
I disagree. His short throws, his short game accuracy is terrible.
It's never been great.
I can't even take it for that shit anymore. I'm sorry. It's not that good. The long ball, much better. What he can do with his legs, oh, man.
That's what I'm about to say about that. And the long ball, and I'm going to say something that might piss people off.
Uh-huh.
Did you see the video that they got leaked from the
I did. I did see it, yes.
Everybody's like, who was it a straight throw? Not all that impressive. It was like 50 yards. And look, the receiver slowed down for it. And it looked like it took him a lot of effort to throw it.
Yeah, his shoulder's not the same.
It's okay. So
his shoulder's not been the same since that J.J. Watt hit.
And I don't mean this as like somebody that dislikes Cam, because I don't. I've always been a fan of Cam.
Right, I understand. You're just being real. It's your honest opinion.
I feel like Shannon Sharp a little bit. It's like, that ain't you. You one of them others. What do you want?
Yeah, and I can't argue with that. Let's quickly try to go through it. What about Jared Goff? I'm taking Cam over Andy Dalton. I'm sorry. Right now,
I'm taking him over. Well, no, I can't take him over Goff. Goff has.
When I saw this year, I'm taking Goff.
Yeah, I'll take Goff.
Yeah, I was very big on Goff, so same here.
Right.
Justin Fields in Chicago.
Give me Fields.
Yeah, give me be Justin Fields.
Okay. Yeah, I guess. I need to see more. The biggest highlights that Justin Fields had in 2022 was with his legs.
That'd be a good spot for him.
They're very similar. Justin Fields is faster and younger and smaller.
But probably smaller, yeah, but definitely smaller and not stronger. Okay, what about Desmond Riddler in Atlanta?
Give me Cam.
Give me Cam.
Desmond Riddler's not the starter. He's Taylor Heineke.
Well, according to your projected 2023 starting quarterbacks, Riddler is on there.
Give me Cam either way.
They have Riddler on here. I don't know who made this list, but yes.
Yeah,
I don't know if Heineke had signed at the time when that tweet came out.
Right, I'll take Cam either way.
I would too.
I might go Heineke.
Okay.
But again, the problem is that he's too close.
We get that, but he's about 33, 32.
32.
He's 32 years old now. He's not the same Cam. We get that. But I do agree that it's not 32 quarterbacks better than him.
Right, like he's right, but you gotta understand that the problem is that because of who he is, it can't be that close.
All right.
He gotta be able to say it ain't 15 better than him.
Sam Howell.
Who?
Exactly. Sam Howell, Washington Commanders.
Oh, that's Cam.
They got rid of Heineke for this guy.
Right, that's Cam.
Who you got, Nick?
Yeah.
Cam?
Yeah, Cam.
Okay.
Doesn't Washington have where's their draft pick?
They're pretty high, I think. No, they made the playoffs, right?
No, they missed it.
No.
They missed it barely, but
Okay.
The Cowboys and the Giants made it.
I was about to say, I know it was 3 teams from the NFC East.
Cowboys, Giants, and Eagles.
So they're the only team from the NFC East that made the playoffs. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
They might have an eye on one of the quarterbacks, one of the rookies.
Brock Purdy.
We'll roll with Purdy.
Yeah, Purdy.
But the fact that you had to think about that,
Right.
that gives Cam, you kicked the tires on him then. The way that you had to think about that. We'll definitely skip Jalen Hurts. What about Matthew Stafford?
No, Matt Stafford's better than him.
When he comes back healthy. When he comes back healthy too.
I'm assuming he's healthy.
Well, we're assuming he's healthy because all of this is based on Cam not being fully healthy, right? Like we're not talking about prime Cam. We're talking about
now.
We're talking about now Cam, banged up shoulder. I'm sorry?
He didn't play at all this past season,
He
right?
didn't play at all.
No.
He should be fine.
I don't know if their shoulders go heal, man.
Unless it's like that.
If he struggled to throw 50 yards, yeah, he probably won't.
Yeah, I don't think their shoulders healing.
I mean, if that's the case, you play quarterback, so that's going to be an issue.
So you got Stafford?
Yeah, I think Stafford, yeah.
All right, Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones.
I'm on the fence.
I
Daniel Jones ain't been better than mediocre one day of his life.
Kyler Murray.
I'll roll with Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray. I don't even like saying that. I didn't like saying Daniel Jones either.
Dak Prescott.
He holds the Cowboys back, but I'm gonna roll with that.
Yeah, I probably still would have to go with Dak.
I know it killed Jarvis on the inside.
I'm gonna keep it real though. I'm gonna keep it
I
real.
have no idea. That hurt.
He threw up on the inside before he said that.
Ryan Tannehill. Oh no, I'm sorry, you didn't answer that one.
I hate Dak as a Cowboy and as a Bulldog.
Correct. But you're still rolling with that.
Yeah, I am.
All of that to say that. what about Ryan Tannehill? Cam and Derrick Henry in the backfield, though. When you just kick the tires on that just to see how it would go, I mean, I know he's.
If I'm the Titans, I bring Cam in.
That's a coin flip.
Yeah.
Me, honestly.
If I'm the Titans, I bring Cam in.
I think I'm going with Cam. Kenny Pickett.
Cam.
He did. Okay. Wow. Okay.
But Kenny did play great later in the season.
I was going to say that.
And
that's what I was going to say.
And let me tell you, I'm ready for this. I'm already ready for this shit to be over because I'm not trying to hear Pickett to Pickens for the next 10, 15 years. Somebody get released to get traded or hold up a gun in the club or something because I'm sick of this already.
I'm gonna leave it at these. I'm gonna leave it at these last two so we can keep it moving because we know he's not gonna replace Josh Allen, Russell Wilson, Tua, Aaron Rodgers if he's a Jet, Patrick Mahomes, Jimmy Garoppolo as a Raider, Justin Herbert as a Charger.
Right.
But Lamar Jackson as a Raven if he's a Raven.
What's that, Nick?
I can't believe y'all was grandpast Jimmy Garoppolo like that.
Nah, I'm gonna keep it real, man. I'm gonna keep it real. All those quarterbacks belong where they stay. Lamar Jackson, if he stays in Baltimore, he stays. Joe Burrow stays. Deshaun Watson stays.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence stays.
Yeah.
But the last two, he could be starting in 2023 for either one of these two here. Gardner Minshew with the Colts.
Hell yeah.
Davis Mills with the Texans.
Absolutely.
Those are the two teams he could be starting for. If,
hey,
that proves there's not 32 quarterbacks better than him right now.
He's dead on. And listen, last year we saw Geno Smith come back and Geno Smith got paid this offseason.
And I skipped him because we know Geno, he looked like a bad boy last year, but I did skip him. Yeah. I'm not replacing him with Geno. I'm right. Cam, right.
We saw Geno Smith come back and have the best year of his life and get paid. And that made me happy.
Yeah. I was happy for him too. Even the 49ers.
Right. So I feel like if someone of Geno's talent and the capability can do it, Heisman Cam can do it too.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I don't want to go as far as saying RG3 can do it, but I got faith in Cam.
Yeah.
RG3 is a character, boy.
He is a character.
So we wanted to get that out of the way because Cam Newton is working out and he's ready to get another shot. And he says, ain't 32 quarterbacks better than me. And I think we just confirmed that at least maybe a handful, we would take him over those handful of guys. All right, now the big, great debate of the day. Once again, Nick started this on Twitter. Nick, you've been busy on Twitter, man.
Nick been starting it, huh?
That's good. Yeah, you've been starting some stuff, and this is what he's. Dwayne Wade, is he a top 20 player of all time? Not shooting guards. Top 20 player of all time, any position. We'll probably get back into the is he a top 10 shooting guard? Although I think we agree he is.
Yeah.
But me and Nick have a few differences on where we have him in that top 10.
That was an outrageous conversation. Dwayne Wade is absolutely a top 10 shooting guard.
Well, no, and I agree. But there's a little gap between where we have him in that spot. But we'll come to that in a minute. Is he a top 20 player, Nick? And then Terrence, and then I'll go ahead and just quickly try to break down my thing.
So I actually took some time and really thought about this after I saw that tweet because I was thinking through it and it was bothering me. So I put together a list and I just want to hear what y'all think. Don't worry about the order so much. Just kind of ride with it. So we got Michael Jordan, we got Kobe, we got Bron, Kareem, and Magic. That's 5. You got Shaq, Duncan, Hakeem, Bird, Russell. That's 10. You got Wilt, Steph, KD, and Charles Barkley. That gives you 14. I was comfortable with all of those.
Okay.
And then I said, okay, I'm trying to see if I can get to 20 just to make it interesting. I got to 18.
Can I get those other names?
My other 4 were Allen Iverson.
Allen Iverson.
Karl Malone.
Okay.
Karl Malone, yep.
Dr. J.
Interesting.
And Giannis.
Right, yeah. It's time for Giannis to get put on the list.
Yeah.
And Giannis may need to be a little bit higher. Like I said, don't kill me on the order. But I think everybody at least kind of in their respective neighborhood.
Not a bad list, Nick. Did you say Hakeem?
Yeah. Hakeem was in top 10.
Okay. Did you say Charles Barkley?
Yeah, he was top.
I didn't say Barkley. Barkley was 14. Barkley was the cutoff.
Right.
Okay. It's a good list, man. I don't have a problem with it. You said Duncan, right?
So you said you need 2 more people, right?
Yeah.
Have you thrown Scottie Pippen on the list?
I got him over Scottie.
I'm sure he has it.
You have Wade over Scottie?
Okay. Never mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, off the top of my head, I can't think of 2 more players. And I don't want to get into a situation where I'm thinking of somebody just to keep somebody off a list. So maybe he is top 20 all time.
And I'm not gonna have this fight with Jerry West and old guys like that. Like I'm not. for multiple reasons, I'm not including them. I'm just not doing that. And I think Dwayne Wade's better than them anyways.
Right.
What about David Robinson, Kevin
David
Garnett?
He got David Robinson in my head. Kevin Garnett was the name I thought of.
Okay. And what about I don't know if the point guards get enough love here.
Right. There's no Stockton, right?
There's no Stockton. There's no. There's no GP. There's no Glove. No Gary Payton.
I got him over GP.
Okay. And Chris Paul, I'm sure you do, right?
I got him over Chris Paul.
You just don't like point guards, huh?
Yeah, he doesn't have any point guards in here.
I do like point guards. I just think Dwayne Wade's better than most of them.
Is Steve Nash a top 20 player?
No.
Multiple MVPs.
He got 2 MVPs he absolutely did not deserve.
I knew that was coming.
And you didn't name Dirk, right?
But he still got him, though.
Oh, I left Dirk out. Oh, that is what I left out.
Okay.
Dirk.
All right. So that's
Dirk.
19.
That's 20. He said he was thinking about KG as well.
No, I said I thought about KG, but I got D-Wade over him.
You put Dirk over KG?
Yes, absolutely.
I might bring you. You serious? You putting Dirk?
I like KG.
Dirk is over KG?
I got Dirk over KG.
Tough crowd.
Real tough crowd.
I'm cool with everything else, but I don't know about that.
That was a glaring omission. Dirk Nowitzki definitely knows.
I'm okay with Dirk being on your list, but to not have KG on it and he's on it.
The question was, do I have Dirk over D-Wade? We can talk about him. So yeah, he could be on the list.
Well, that is the person we should be comparing him to. You're right, but so Dirk over D-Wade?
I don't know if I got Dirk over him. He's one of those who, like I said, everybody after Barkley, AI, Malone, Dr. J, and Giannis, I was all like, those are the ones we can talk about. That's how I figured out, okay, D-Wade is in this 20 neighborhood, just depending on kind of who you like. And Dirk is a name I left out that should be right there in that neighborhood also.
And so no James Harden, no Kyrie.
No.
Okay. All right. No Grant Hill.
No. He didn't do it long enough.
Yeah. Can't argue with that.
Those injuries took him out, man.
Yeah. Okay. Well, T, what you got? I mean, he pretty much set the blueprint on that 20. Feel free to take who you want out.
I guess the only issue I would have with the list is that to me there's not enough point guards on it, and I think that even though Nick didn't like the idea, I think you have to put Jerry West on there. And I think that closes it out at 20.
I mean, he is the damn logo.
Right.
I'm not saying he still should be, but he is the damn logo.
Unofficially. Did y'all know that was totally unofficial?
No.
Jerry West played with an exorbitant amount of people who were the same color as him.
I mean, you're not wrong.
No.
You're not wrong. I don't like to totally disclose.
But you got Wilt in there, and Wilt played with those same players. So
and he was much bigger and much faster. And
much bigger, much faster. I seen that dude get a rebound and go from one end of the court to the other as point.
Man, Wilt was shooting fadeaway jumpers off the backboard like Duncan.
I think I heard Mad Dog say he was averaging 70 at one point.
He probably was.
So, but Jerry West was on the court too when he was doing that.
And Wilt was such a crazy athlete that he tore his Achilles, but then still went and became the best volleyball player in the world. So he's one of the best basketball players in the world, one of the best volleyball players in the world.
Yeah.
And he could do everything that your favorite player could do.
It was like a big LeBron back in the day, way before his time.
Except he jumped higher.
Man, that's crazy.
I think Jordan, and one more guy, the only guys that have a 48-inch vertical.
Right.
And he ran like a 4.3 or 4.4.
Dominique Wilkins, Clyde Drexler, they don't make that either, right?
No.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
All right. I'm reaching in. I'm reaching.
Yeah, but I would put Jerry West on the list and I would close it out right there at 20. So I'd have D-Wade a solid 21.
Are you saying that you have all those guys over D-Wade? Like I said, those last 4 or 5 were just the one. Those are the ones I was really kind of iffy on.
And I'm with you. I do think it's iffy. The problem is that I don't think he is a concrete top 20. Right? Like we know that LeBron is top whatever. We know that Jordan is top whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We know that Kobe and Shaq and all those guys, they, any list with them in the top 5, top 10, you can't argue with it.
Mm-hmm.
I think the problem is that, we have to argue. We have to think about it. And it's just not concrete enough for me. So, it's somewhat subjectivity. that can go either way. And you know, how I am about that, especially with lists, right?
Yeah.
So if somebody came and told me after us having this conversation and really giving it deep thought,
Yeah.
if someone comes and tell me, hey, D Wade is the 20th best basketball player of all time, I can't argue
You
with
won't
it.
argue with it.
I wouldn't dare argue with it. Yeah,
Right.
because it's not concrete enough.
Right.
If somebody said, hey, he's top 25, I'm not arguing with that either. Now when you start getting to 30, we got to fight a little bit, you know, because now you just toying with the man's legacy. Now you're being disrespectful.
Yeah.
I'm like Stephen A. Don't be disrespectful.
Right. Yeah, that was a good one. Good impression.
But yeah, so yeah, I mean, if I have to say he is for the sake of argument, but here is a problem with Wade's legacy. I would make the argument that Wade's legacy would be better had he just won the one championship.
I agree.
Because LeBron's fans
that's where I was going
are terrible. And now everything else is, it happened because LeBron went there. Yeah. But he won one before LeBron got there.
Yeah.
And I think had he won just that one, we'd be having a different conversation about his legacy because of the fact that his legacy is not as so closely tied to LeBron. And listen, they came in the league in the same year.
They did.
They came in the league in the same year. And he won without LeBron. He won without Bosh.
That's true.
You know, so I think, you know, you just
and he won before both of them.
And he won before both of them. So I believe that had he just had the championship, which he already had, and just kept having great years after the fact, I think his legacy would be much higher. Listen, we were just talking before this, and we were talking about James Harden possibly being a better two-guard all the time than D Wade, and he ain't won jack squat.
Right.
So I think we got in the habit, all of us, of chasing Jordan's legacy. It's all about championships, right? So a lot of times we unfairly grade people's careers by the number of championships or how they won the championships in D Wade's case. And I think that we have forgotten about everything else because LeBron went there and they joined up and they did what they did. And those guys are, you know, the best of friends or whatever the case may be. Mm-hmm. And what they did is NBA history. Unfortunately, that history makes D Wade looks like a doggone sidekick, and that's not what he was.
Right.
You know, LeBron has even stated that he needed to go to Miami to learn how to win.
So you're pretty much cool with his list.
Yeah, it's fine.
And if you want to put him at 20, you're okay with it. And if somebody said he was 21, you'd be okay with it.
If you want to put him at 17, that's fine with me.
Right. Okay.
You know?
Okay.
Anywhere in that time, anywhere in that area.
Here's where I disagree with the both of them.
Anywhere 15 to 20, I'm good with D-Wade.
When he was good, he was good. And this is for the Miami Heat fan that's been following us on Twitter earlier today. We hope you check out the show. We hope you enjoy the show. And again, thank you for supporting us and listening.
Yep.
I don't have him a top 20 player. I'm not going to try to say anything too unhinged, Nick, but the way I see it, every player that you mentioned is better than Wade, and there was a few that you left out. So he may make 20.
I'm just letting y'all know now. Here it comes.
He may make 21, 22, 23 on the list for me, but not in the top 20 because Kevin Garnett goes on my list as a top 20 player.
Okay.
I think, man, I wish he had a ring, and he's not going to get one. He's not going to get one if he doesn't leave, which doesn't seem like he's going anywhere. That's Dame Lillard. Dame could probably be a top 20 player if he keeps doing what he's doing. I agree with most of the people that you had on there, but I want to add, who did I say? Kevin Garnett.
Dame.
I'm thinking about Dame. I like the Giannis. There's somebody else in this era that I think should go on there, and I may be lost.
Now you were real high on Chris Paul.
Yes, I was. And then
don't do that.
And then what happened?
Right.
Game 7. Yeah. That whole series.
Now the time is over with. Luka might have passed him.
That's
and obviously with Giannis already being in the conversation, and he's got plenty of time left. So
maybe.
We like to think he's got plenty of time left. He's like what, 29, 30?
You just never know.
Wait, who's 29 or 30?
I think it's something about Luka.
Luka's not that old. Luka's still like 26 or something.
7, 8, 9 years of being Giannis still.
Oh, Giannis. No, Giannis is on that list. Giannis definitely makes that list. But I think the AIs, of course, Jordans, Kobe's, Barkley, Shaq, Duncan Robinson, Bird, Dirk, but I also have KG on there.
Yeah.
But Dirk definitely should be on there, I would say. Man, Steve Nash should probably be on that list.
Hell no.
Man, I'm not going to take anything away from him. You're being biased, Nick, on him winning MVPs and Kobe beat.
It ain't even that. I mean, he didn't deserve the MVPs. Steve Nash is an all-time great player. He cannot be the number one guy on a championship team. And that's what the way it was.
And I would agree with you if he only won that one championship and didn't get LeBron James and Chris Bosh to help him win a second and third championship.
Not being the number one guy doesn't take away from the fact that he won one as the number one guy.
I'm not taking it away. I'm stating that would have.
I said he won a title as the number one guy.
But I kind of agree with Terrence a little bit more as far as if that was it. It helps his legacy. It doesn't help his legacy knowing that he won 3 championships, but 2 of them he didn't even really earn. He didn't even really deserve them. And 2014 showed us, and this guy said from 06 to 2012, I believe. You got it tweeted.
Mm-hmm.
He was damn near washed the first year LeBron and Bosh joined the Heat. Dwayne Wade could not get the Miami Heat in the playoffs in the Eastern Conference during these bad years, which is the reason why he said, yeah, please come to South Beach. You got to check it out. It's beautiful out here. The weather's nice. It's wonderful. He was never going to win another championship, Nick. And
that's fine.
He loses.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not arguing to you that he's better than Steve Nash because he has 3 titles. I'm saying it's because he won one as the best guy on the team. Steve Nash at no point in his career could be that.
Okay, but yes, he was the best player on that team, and he did win one, and he snapped out that year. He was a bad boy when he was a bad boy now. What I'm saying is it was a very short stint. And I don't think you make the top 20 when all these other 20 players that we named did it on a longer, consistent basis, and he was only good for a short stint. 2006, 2007, 2008, Wade was that guy. After
he really actually took his jump like his second year in the league.
Yeah, I think 2009.
Again, he played 4 years in college, though, I believe. It was time.
Yeah, I think 2009 was his best year.
09?
Statistically, I think that was his best year.
Okay.
I think that year he led the league in scoring.
Yeah, 08, 09. Yeah, he led the league in scoring.
To me, he would have had to been at some point in his career. He would have had to been the best shooting guard in the league at some point, and he never was. And I understand Kobe was playing. He wasn't. But he also wasn't better than Tracy McGrady at that time. Well, let me see. When did McGrady fall off? I would say the injury started to end his career after the
Tracy McGrady a small forward.
After the 09 season, I would say. After 09, McGrady's pretty much handicapped. He's pretty much crippled after that. The knee, the back, I get it.
But but
he was never better than Kobe, McGrady. Who else was a good 2 guard at that time? Hell.
Brandon Roy was still in the league at that point.
Brandon Roy. Where did Gilbert Arenas play? 1 or 2?
He was a combo guard, but mainly
combo guard. Okay.
But I will say, yeah, I would say in 2009, Wade was the best 2 guard in the league.
In 2009, you think so?
Yeah.
Well, I know Nick disagrees with that.
No, he doesn't.
Kobe the Lakers won a championship that year.
What's that?
You said you think I don't disagree with that?
I said I'm sure you do, but I'm sure you disagree with that.
I heard Terrence say that I would agree with.
So wait a minute, hold on. So you saying that
That's
Kobe?
What he said.
Hold on. I'm about to get my Charles Barkley on. So you telling me Kobe Bryant? But in all seriousness, you telling me Kobe was better than D Wade in 2009?
Absolutely. That's why the Lakers won the title.
Who won MVP in 09? It definitely wasn't Wade though.
It was LeBron, I think.
LeBron won 09.
Okay, well, damn.
Yeah, it was LeBron.
Well, now he plays a different position, but okay.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Nick.
You would have to pull the numbers up on what he averaged to you, and I know you can't do that right now, but I don't know what his numbers look like in 09.
What did you say, Nick?
But I know he didn't get.
No point in his career was way better than Kobe Bryant.
I know he didn't get the Miami Heat to the playoffs that year. I bet you that.
He had a very, very small little time frame there where I believe that he was either just as good or better. Now, it didn't last long, and this is what Jarvis is talking about. It didn't last long.
No, it did not.
He was definitely not better than Kobe Bryant before Kobe tore his Achilles.
No, hell no. He was good, but no.
But I want to say the year they won the championship, Kobe averaged probably about 24, 25 a game, something like that.
In 09?
No, the year that who won the championship?
The 2009 team.
Oh, the Lakers on it. He averaged, I think he was in the somewhere between 25 and 27 probably.
And the year I'm thinking about with Wade is 2008. That's the year I'm thinking about. I'm sorry.
2008?
Yep.
Kobe was MVP in 08, wasn't
he? He shouldn't have gotten it. He averaged 30 a game, almost 50% shooting, 5 rebounds, 7.5 assists.
Okay.
D Wade was on a tear that year.
Okay.
He was nice.
All right, so maybe 1 year he was better. He was the better 2-guard, maybe. Although Kobe was the MVP that year. I'm gonna say that no. I'm still gonna say no.
So that same year, Kobe averaged 26.8 on almost 47% shooting.
27 a game.
5 assists. 5 rebounds and 5 assists.
That's 08.
That's 08.
And
D Wade was better that year.
And the Lakers won what, 65 games?
They won 65 games. Yeah, I mean, he had a better team, duh. I mean, he had Pau Gasol and Bynum.
I wish I could see Tracy McGrady numbers for that season. But yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I think that the fact that he was good for about 4 years, 4 years straight, I would say that he was a really good ball player in this league, and it went downhill.
I mean, he was always really good, but I think his
I don't think
greatness,
that's top 20.
His greatness lasted probably 4 or 5 seasons.
Okay.
Right, because they won a championship in 06. Was it 06?
06, that's right.
So we'll say 7, 8, 9, 10.
And not to discredit Wade or the Heat.
So we'll say 5 seasons tops.
I would set it further than that. I would probably go, where did you start?
I started in the championship season 06.
I would probably go back at least 05, maybe 04.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in the second year, he really took a jump. Then the third year, he took another jump.
Right.
So I would probably go at least back another year to 05.
Okay, from 05, we're going to say from what? 05 to what?
Probably about 12.
But that decline was so obvious about 12.
What was he doing in 12 and 11? Seriously? He was playing with LeBron. LeBron was carrying him and that team.
No.
In 11, he was still.
I mean, look, I'm not talking about the fourth quarter or clutch moments. I'm not talking about the fourth quarter or clutch moments. We know Wade should probably still have the ball. He'll get to the rim. He's not afraid to go to the free throw line. He will slash his way, in that mid-range game that he had that he was so good at. I will give him credit for that.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that if we go back to 05, I'm cutting it off at 2010. Because again, LeBron James took the Cleveland Cavaliers with Anderson Varejao and all of those El Goskas and those guys to the postseason, and they would be number 1 or number 2 in the East every year.
I mean, LeBron was better than him. I'm not going to argue that.
Well, I'm saying, what I'm trying to say, the comparison is that he played with Little in Cleveland. And yes, Wade played with Little in Miami, but he didn't even get them to the postseason. He couldn't win 40 games for like 2 or 3 consecutive years until LeBron and Bosh got there. That doesn't make you a top 20. I'm sorry. Not in my book, because you're not winning enough games. You're not winning. How are you the best player and you're not winning? If you're the best player, you should be winning. You should be getting some wins.
Who else on the list is that not true of that's in his vicinity?
Yeah, KG had a lot of years where he missed.
Tracy McGrady played with a terrible Orlando Magic team under Doc Rivers.
That's what I was thinking about. You talking to me about Kevin Garnett. He was struggling before he got to Boston.
What? So hold on. What the hell did you say? He was struggling where? You mean?
You're telling me about D Wade really being able to win 40 games?
So you think the minute?
Like that,
well, first of all, I will say.
You're telling me
He was in the Eastern Conference, the Leastern Conference. You can't win 40 measly games, Nick. And to your point about Kevin Garnett and the Timberwolves, that was in the Western Conference. He did get him and Spreewell and those guys to the 03 Western Conference Finals with Sam Cassell. The teams were bad. They were bad, but he was great. He was phenomenal. He was a double guy, okay, in Minnesota. And they still probably got more wins in that conference than Wade got for the Heat in the East. The East was terrible. You should be able to be an 8 seed, man. They would be like 35 and 38 every season. Look it up. If you can't get the Miami Heat in the playoffs in the Eastern Conference, you can't be a top 20 player. And not to discredit what they did in 06, they got lucky as hell to play the Dallas Mavericks. They wouldn't have beat any other team probably that season in the finals. And I mean, let's not act like they were not down 0-2 in that series. Now he snapped out. I'm just saying that I could come up with 20 players though that was better than Wade, in my opinion. I think so.
I think he definitely belongs in that 20 neighborhood.
Like I said, if you want to put him at 20, I'm like Terrence. I won't argue with you, but he's probably going to be like 21, 22 for me. And that's mainly because you got 2 rings that you shouldn't have got. You had help. He was draining his knee every other night, Nick. It was getting pretty bad after 2012 and beyond. And 2014 was so bad in the finals, LeBron went back to Cleveland. And he's still a top 20 player.
They got together 4 years. After about a year and a half, it was like, nah, this ain't that dude no more.
And I think more so than anything, LeBron knew that, so he hijacked it back to Cleveland.
Oh yeah, definitely.
LeBron knew what was up.
And again, I'll call it. I call a spade now. Kawhi Leonard did shut LeBron down for most of that series, but he still did more than Dwayne Wade. He couldn't get the help from Wade like he needed. That's when he needed it. LeBron knew, okay, I gotta go. But yeah, I mean, look, I'm not trying to say he's not 20, but I'm having a hard time making him number 20 because I want Dirk in, I want KG in, and Steve Nash and Chris Paul. Damn it! Just because, as you said, T, he doesn't have enough point guards on their list. I think somebody's missing. I'm gonna think of who it is after we record.
If a point guard has to make that list, give me Stockton.
I'm cool with that. I'm fine with that. And Luka may be on this list at some point. I'm gonna say another 2 or 3 years, he's gonna be out of that list. Even the people that have him in that list,
right? Because
Dame is not going anywhere. Luka's not going anywhere, and there's a few more that are starting to heat it up. I don't know. Maybe Donovan Mitchell. Maybe
for Dame to get in that territory.
You said what now? You think it's gonna be hard for Dame to get in there?
Because if he's gonna continue to be stubborn and stay in Portland, especially, he's gonna be looked at as a guy that put up a lot of empty stats.
Okay, I tell you what. Maybe this will help you change your mind. Even Dame Lillard on a bad Portland Trailblazer team. Did they make the playoffs last year?
I don't think so. They did, but he wasn't there for the majority of it. He tore his oblique.
I can't use that argument then.
Yeah, he tore his oblique.
I was going to say even he got a bad Portland Trailblazer team to the postseason in the Western Conference. That still would be more significant than Wade not getting his Heat in the postseason. And I mean, it was bad. The Eastern Conference was terrible. Remember, this is the same conference that no one gave LeBron credit for winning every year. And so now we're going to act like it was the shit.
I hear you. I'm just saying, as far as the Dame Lillard part of it, it's going to be hard for him to get in that territory if he stay in Portland.
I got you.
Because after he's done, they're going to look at him as, yeah, you put up a lot of numbers. You went to the All-Star game a lot, whatever. But they won Western Conference Finals appearance.
What about Vince Carter? He played for 20 years, and he was good for at least 15 of them.
I can't put him top 20, though.
I can't put Vince up there.
Yeah, I can't put him top 20.
All right.
Vince might make the top 35.
I'm really trying to find another center.
What about Tony Parker?
Oh,
I mean, does he make the top 20 of all time?
No.
He was a hell of a point guard there at one point.
No, he's definitely not. He's not going over D Wade.
See, and this is the one thing I hate, and I'm not saying you guys are not right, but Duncan was so good. Nobody wants to give anybody on that Spurs team any credit. Remember what we said earlier during pre-production about Ginobili?
Right.
And you all went with Wade still? But Ginobili, we can't act like he wasn't a bad boy just because he played beside Duncan. Oh. And another reason why he's not number 20. Because Terrence was right. Scottie Pippen deserved to be on that damn list. He's the best two-way player we've ever seen, probably. And we've got to put some more respect on his name. Huh? You said no?
I don't agree that Scottie Pippen's the greatest two-way player we've ever seen.
Who is?
His teammate.
Who is?
Right, the guy he played with.
Jordan?
Yeah.
No. That's statistics. The defensive stats, that's just stop it. Jordan was not a better player than Pippen on the defensive side. So Pippen has the edge there. We know Jordan has the edge on the offensive side.
Exponentially better on the offensive side.
yeah, exponentially. Yeah, of course. But still, best two-way player, no. Kawhi could have been. But he just been dropping the ball here lately, not playing and all the injuries. It could have been Kawhi. Scottie Pippen is the best, if not one of the best two-way players ever. Let's not forget the guy still got the team 50-plus wins and postseason in this 2 seasons that Jordan, or 1 season and a half that Jordan didn't play. And that wasn't easy to do with the Eastern Conference being so tough and the Knicks being who they were. And he beat the Knicks 1 year. So, man, all I'm saying is, no, I'm sorry, he didn't beat them.
That's who beat them.
But, did they beat him?
That's who beat them, I think.
Okay.
The Knicks beat them.
Yeah, but it's the Knicks. They ran into him again in that second round, I believe, like always. But man, we gotta stop doing this to Scottie, man. Just because he played next to Jordan, and that's why I just gave props to Ginobili and Parker and those guys because they were still good ball players. And I gotta say, Jordan doesn't win a championship. He doesn't win these championships without Pippen, and he said that himself. So yes, he may be number 20. But I will have Scottie Pippen number 20. And Dirk and Kevin Garnett goes in there. So I don't know. D-Wade will probably have to fall out of there. I know some people are saying you're crazy, but you're busy. The people that are calling me crazy, they're busy thinking about what he did for 3 seasons. But that's 3 seasons. That's all you got. It's not enough to be a top 20 player in my book.
Well, what I will say is that let's just say that he is. I don't think that that's going to be very long-lived because even if he is, he's at the very back end of that 20.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to have guys coming up like Tatum, like Luka.
That's true.
These guys are going to be coming up, and they're going to be coming on this list for sure.
That's true.
Or somewhere near it. We don't listen. The NBA is right now is in a transitional spot, right?
Mm-hmm.
LeBron has been the face of it for so long, and he's transitioning out of it. Who's next, right? Like Steph has had his run, but Steph's 35.
Yeah.
KD has been in the league a long ass time.
Is he really 35? Man, time
Steph's
flies.
35.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a year 15 for Steph.
And when they're on the road, sometimes it's starting to show.
And he said the other night, the lady was like, "What's wrong?" He's like, "I'm just getting old."
Wow.
And it happens, and it made me so sad because I'm also getting old.
I mean, it definitely happens, and you're not far from 35.
I'll be 35 in a couple of months. So
that's right.
So I feel that, but the league is in a very, very interesting spot because it's supposed to be a natural transition to Giannis. But don't be surprised if Jason Tatum and Luka and Booker and some of these guys have something to say about it.
I was about to say that.
I'm not gonna make any more jaw jokes tonight.
If he can stay consistent, then he definitely can do it. If he can stay on the court, stay healthy, looks like he beat the injury buzz.
If he makes enough
now
shots,
he needs to stay out. Yeah, makes enough shots, and he needs to stay out of trouble. And speaking of Ja is back. He's a Memphis Grizzly. We know that. He returned to the Grizzlies, came off the bench. Nick said he's already posterized somebody, though, in Houston tonight against the Rockets. It's been a great show. I love the D-Wade debate, top 20. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be going live here each and every week, any night from Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. Mostly Monday nights, though, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. If you want to come in, you can join the debate. You can comment, chime in, chat with us on YouTube Live, on Facebook Live, or you can just give us a call simply at 901-308-4916. And, maybe it's something that you would like to debate with us. Zion Williamson is somebody that could make the list one day, but if he nigga never stay on the court, he's a hell of a talent, hell of a player, but damn, I've told you all. Has he ever came back?
No.
He's still not back.
No.
Yeah, I'm guessing this season.
Another dub for Jarvis.
One more for the good guys.
Here's the Great Debate Show. One more for the good guys. Nick, that's pretty much all I got, man. Do you want to say anything about losing Gardner Johnson, though, before we wrap it up? Losing Gardner Johnson and, we talked about Hargrave last week, but you lost another one. Do you think that was a big blow or no? He kept Slade.
I mean, honestly, it's kind of a trade-off, right? Because I honestly thought he was going to be one we could keep, and that we would lose Darius Slade. So that fact we didn't keep Slade, we lost him, which he screwed himself over. That we offered him a 3-year deal that was averaging like $12 million a year. He ended up signing to Detroit for 1 year for $8 million. Good job. Way to fumble the bag. But if y'all didn't figure it out, that was him I sent y'all on that TikTok a little earlier.
But Nick, maybe that contract was a little backloaded. Maybe it was loaded on the back. It was probably backloaded or something on the back end. They probably were not. Maybe it wasn't as good as it sounds. It might have not been 12 per for 3 years. It might have been.
I mean, from what I saw, I think that 12 versus 36. So I think they might have guaranteed him, 16 of it. I mean, knowing how the Eagles generally do business, and particularly considering he's a young player, we probably, we would try to try to do right. He was the one we would want to keep, right? But the problem was, he was looking to get paid like Harrison Smith and Jesse Bates, and those guys who were in the $16 million a year range. And for whatever reason, the market didn't work out that way for him. Well, for really any safeties. Safeties and tight ends, because Dalton Schultz did the same thing with the Cowboys. The Cowboys offered him more money. He held out. He didn't take it because he thought he was going to get more in the open market, and he ended up in Houston.
For less.
He didn't have to move for him.
But at least he's still in a great state of Texas.
I still thought Gardner Johnson made more of an impact on the Eagles defense than Slade did.
From a football standpoint, I would definitely would have loved to have him, but whether we're better or worse is just going to depend on what we do to replace him.
Right. Okay. Well, the Cowboys got a little better. In my opinion, I think the Eagles got a little worse. The 49ers lost some players. They also added some players, though. They added Sam Darnold. We talked about that. They've added an offensive lineman. They've added Cleveland Farrell from the Raiders. Almost borderline draft bust. But I will say this. When you get with the 49ers and defensive line, Chris Kasurek, he gets more out of you. Arden Key was the guy who was borderline bust. And he played a year with the Niners. Now he's getting signed to other teams.
Right.
He's kind of revamped his career.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you come to San Francisco. You're either going to be able to protect that draft bust name and come out and blossom and start to get a little money here with other teams, or you're going to be a coach who's going to be on the staff who's going to probably get a head coaching job. This is what we do in San Francisco. This is what we do. The greatest football team in the world. However, I can't say we're the best. I won't say that the Niners are a better team than they were when they lost the NFC Championship game, though, because some of those guys that we lost, I don't know. Some of the people that we kept, I was surprised. Jimmy Ward is the guy that I thought we would keep. We let him go. But then we actually held on to or we added Hargrave on the defensive side, defensive tackle. And I'm like, well, I didn't think DT was going to be where we tried to upgrade it. I thought it would, so a little different, a little backwards. But, hey, it is what it is. If Bosa, Armstead, Hargrave, and maybe Farrell is on that D-line, those are all first-round picks. And I understand Farrell was not a first-round pick. Seriously, he shouldn't have been. But that doesn't mean he's not a decent third-round pick, because that's probably what he should have been, second or third round. So, the Niners, I think we're kind of the same, maybe a little worse. But we've still got the draft to get the offensive line better. And we did sign one. The Ravens, they haven't done anything as usual. And they haven't done anything with Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson still has not signed that tag. We're still.
This is the truth.
The only thing that can make Lamar Jackson sign that tag right now is if they were to trade for D-Hop or sign Odell Beckham Jr. or both, and tell him, look here, that 3-year, $133 million
Still on the table.
is still on the table, but we're able to take care of these guys if you can sign this, and you get another contract before you're 30.
Yep.
That don't sound that bad.
Right.
But I understand why Lamar didn't want to sign it or take it, because I don't know if he asked for $200 million guaranteed or not, but he definitely didn't get that offer. And my whole thing with that is that, man, all of these teams that are backing out now saying they don't want him, we know this is not true. So we know there has to be some form of collusion, regardless of what they're saying about, well, we don't want to do the Ravens work for them. Man, please, if I am the Houston Texans general manager, the Dolphins, the Jets, the Packers, the Titans, the Vikings, all these teams, the Patriots, Mac Jones or Lamar Jackson, man, please.
Right.
The Raiders, who settled for Garoppolo, but man, please. The Falcons. Oh my God, if I'm Arthur Blank or whatever his name is, Arthur Blank, man, I'm on the phone and I'm making an offer. What do you want? What do you want? That's what I'm saying on the phone. Got to do something here.
And they have plenty of money.
And they've got plenty of money, and the team will not be bad if you add him. So there has to be some type of collusion. They are saying, man, look, Cleveland Browns messed this up for everybody. If we follow that trend, we're not doing it. But I will say this. Since you've let it be known that the blackest of the black, as Terrence would say, that quarter, keep that same energy when it's time to pay Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, and Trevor Lawrence. Keep that same energy. And that's all I've got.
I echo that 1,000%.
Yeah.
I'm going to be very, very curious when those guys get signed.
Yep. Very.
What Jalen Hurts going to get? This would, Nick, your team could really just blow the top off this thing. Your team could say, screw what everybody's saying. We're giving Jalen Hurts a fully guaranteed contract. What if that happened? I mean, like it would be great for Lamar, though.
Yeah, it would be.
It would be great for Lamar.
Yeah.
It would be great for you, Nick, because you get to keep your quarterback for a mighty long time. It could be 10 years or so, like you said, a Mahomes type deal. And while the Ravens can't offer Lamar that same type of deal, hell, the Baltimore Orioles, man, whatever he wants. And as far as that thing about, well, you're not durable that much. You hadn't played in December in 2 years. I would say this. I think, one, he could have came back.
Yeah.
I think this Lamar saying, man, piss on y'all.
Yeah.
I gave you 3 months, and we were a playoff team. As soon as I got hurt, look at y'all now. You can't even make the playoffs. Or you barely get in. I think that he should just tell them, look here, man. Again, Deshaun Watson is not better than me. I'm a Pro Bowler. I'm an MVP. If he can get that, I can get this. That's all she should have. That's all he should have to say. And he doesn't need a damn agent for that.
Right.
He can say that himself. He don't need his mama to tell them that, who is working as his agent. He can do that himself and leave the room. If I walk out of the door, that's it. I'm gone.
I'm going to say this, and it may not be popular. If Deshaun Watson was able to regain what he was in Houston, I know he's probably rusty, whatever this year, blah, blah, blah. I'm taking that dude over Lamar Jackson.
Okay. You know what? I can't argue with that. Go ahead, T. Go ahead.
That's not far-fetched because Deshaun Watson is a immensely better passer than
like when you look at it on paper, and that's how Lamar would frame his argument, is that, hey, you put it on paper, I've won an MVP, he hasn't, et cetera, et cetera. I don't have the charges that he had and all of that.
He's won playoff games. Deshaun hasn't.
Playoff games, right. But if you're being honest with yourself, if I get the old Deshaun, the Houston Deshaun Watson, I'm taking that guy.
And he was paid based on that Houston Deshaun Watson.
Right.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, but I mean that's not far fetched because I think Deshaun Watson is. I mean, it's no think he's exponentially better passer. But I would also argue that what Lamar brings to the table is more than just passing, and it's more than just running. You have to structure your whole game plan around this guy's abilities, not his skill level, but his abilities, and that's tough.
I was told that when a quarterback gets paid, each and every time a quarterback gets paid in free agency, he sets the market. He sets the market.
And Deshaun set that market.
Deshaun set that thing off like Queen Latifah, Jada Pinkett, and Vivica Fox. So how in the hell does it stop now when it's time to pay Lamar?
You shoot the car up.
Yeah.
You shoot the car up with Queen
Latifah in
it.
Yeah, what the hell, man? So, yeah, man, Baltimore should be ashamed of themselves. The Raven fan base is very, very, very disappointed. And but let's move on here. Lamar Jackson needs to get moved or sign the tag and stay a Raven, and Aaron Rodgers needs to be a Jet. Let's move on with this. There's a holdup in all of this. They're holding the league hostage right now, the Green Bay Packers. So they say. Aaron Rodgers came out and let that be known by saying, I intend to play for the Jets. However, they're holding this stuff up. Wouldn't it be Aaron Rodgers to go live and tell people that?
Of course.
And this is now, so the Packers are being vindictive. They're being petty. They're saying, oh, you want to just go and tell everybody we said this, we said that? All right, well, we don't want to come outside and play. Nanny, boo-boo. That's what we've got right here. Because that's the only reason why the Packers are holding out. And I agree with you guys. I can't find a way. I was trying my best to figure out how can the Packers have any type of leverage here. And they really don't.
They don't have any.
So just let's get this thing over with and make the trade happen, man. Is there any chance that it's another team? Could the Packers get dirty and say, I don't care if you do want to go to the Jets. We're sending your ass to Houston. We're sending your ass to Tennessee.
Well, it's because of the price tag. Nobody else is going to take that $60 million price tag.
Those teams can take it. You don't think the Texans or Titans would do it?
The
Atlanta Falcons, you don't think they would do it?
They could do it. I don't think they will do it.
You just bought yourself a $60 million headache because Aaron Rodgers don't want to be there and you're not going to win.
So why are the Jets so desperate?
Because they feel like they can win and Aaron Rodgers wants to be there.
But Lamar Jackson would be there much longer than Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, no, you're not wrong.
And he ain't asking for $60 million.
I'm not going to argue that they should go after Lamar. Don't get me wrong. But they decided they want Aaron Rodgers.
Okay. Well, we passed our 90-minute mark, ladies and gentlemen. We thank you for watching. It's the Great Debate Show again. We're live on Monday nights, 9 Eastern, 8 Central. You can call in at 901-308-4916 to debate with us and join in. You could have got in on the Dwayne Wade topic, that segment. Top 5 college basketball players of all time. We didn't get to talk about it as much, but we did on the Great Debate Show. The page on Facebook, Twitter. You can find us and look us up and get in. We're debating everything all week long. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And that's all I've got.
Yeah, that's it here.
Nick, that's it? All right. Well, y'all be safe out there, please. Be safe. And we'll be back for the next one. Let's see. We did the wrestling already. We've done this. So, yeah, it'll be next week.
Yep.
We'll be back. It's the Great Debate Show. Hit that follow button. Thank you.
Peace out, guys.
You know.
Ooh, I was down to 3%.
Uh-oh. Oh, you didn't give me the signal?
That's all good.
Yeah.
I knew we were right there at the end, so
we are.
Hold on.
All righty. Man, it get late.
Yeah,
quick.
Boy, that time sneak up on you.
And it's hot up here to me, man.